Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct from the studios here at Menara Star in PJ. My name is Nelson. As usual, joining me today, Shaun, Zheng, Guan, and my man Ian Yee. Good to see you guys once again. I tell you what a tremendous weekend of football it was right now. But where else can we start than with Chelsea's 1-0 loss to West Brom? I mean, look, a result that has seen Andre Villas-Boas finally getting the sack. I mean, knowing Roman Abramovich and Chelsea's recent history with managers, AVB had it coming, right?
Morning, right?
Morning for AVB, man. I mean, yeah, if you look at the results, he probably had it coming, but I think the blame really falls on the players. I mean, a week ago, the likes of Lampard and Drogba were playing brilliant, and Ashley Cole was playing brilliant, and the game against West Brom, they were horrible. Ever since Ashley Cole played so bad, he couldn't pass, he couldn't defend, and he missed a free header. It wasn't for the one block at the last minute and the one cross. I would give him a 3 out of 10 rating, man.
I mean,
the players just didn't want to play under AVB. That was quite clear to see.
It's quite obvious, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sir Alex says it's really sad that modern day football demands almost immediate success. So would you say the board is right to part ways with AVB?
Yeah, for once, I think Roman Abramovich tried to be patient, right? I don't think any of the previous managers would have survived this long with that run of results and and playing that kind of football. This is the worst Chelsea side we've seen under Abramovich. So it was in some cases this was the right time to actually do it. I mean, they've never done it at the right time before. Before that, Ancelotti, that was uncalled for. But this one, for once, I think they made the right choice.
It was probably the better option, like sacking a manager and paying off the 8 million compared to sacking a whole team of players. So But I mean, summer clear-out has to come, lah. I mean, I'm a hardcore Chelsea guy.
I'm sure they'll be looking forward to the new season, right? Well, okay, over at Anfield, Liverpool's dismal home form continued as they contrived to lose by 2-1 against Arsenal. I mean, having missed a penalty, but they took the lead, right? But surely the Reds must be disappointed to have lost 3 points, right, Shaun?
No, absolutely. There's no way. You don't want to lose against Arsenal if you're Liverpool. And what I liked about Liverpool in that game was they were organised, particularly in the first half. They knew what they wanted to do. Suarez was a bit unlucky not to have scored. There was a couple of...
He seems to love the post, eh?
Yeah, there were a couple of efforts that hit the post. But I don't know what's in Arsenal. They kind of woke up recently and come back and bite you.
I mean, not much to separate the two sides, save for a certain Robin Van Persie, right, Ian? I mean, we've been talking about him the whole season. Right?
Yeah. I think that has to give you a lift, right, when you're in your team, when you know that you can rely on someone like him to get you a goal. So it kind of takes the pressure off the rest of the team. Right. In that way, you kind of feel like, if you just keep trying, you just keep creating those chances, he's going to stick one in the back of the net. And what a great finish. So he can pull, to know that you have a player that can pull something like that out of the hat.
Great pass
that
by
gives
Shaun
you a
as
lift.
well.
Yeah, fantastic pass.
Really
but it needed finishing.
Well, meanwhile, leaders Manchester City, it pains me to say leaders, managed to see off Bolton by 2-0 at the Etihad. Most people, including you, expected a thrashing, right, Shaun? But I mean, at the end of the day, a win's a win, right?
Fair enough. That's what I said in the column. I also said that maybe City would win 3-0. 2-0 is not bad. But again, going back to the game, City could have easily knocked in maybe 4 or 5. But at this stage of the season, if you win 2-0 and you're keeping your noses in front of who, I reckon Mancini is okay.
Right. Okay, well, following City's result, United had to win at White Hart Lane to keep pace with their rivals. And win they did, thanks to a Wayne Rooney goal and a brace by Ashley Young. I mean, with Jermaine Defoe scoring a consolation. I mean, true to Harry and Fergie's word, Spurs actually dominated the match, right, Ian? And were undone merely by some poor defending and a couple of set pieces, right?
No, poor defending, I'm not quite sure. Like, for example, for Ashley Young's goal, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to have in your team. Like we were mentioning with Van Persie, you need a player that can turn up to just pull something out of the hat, that completely out of the blue to win your team the game. And I think Ashley Young, he was terrible in that game. He didn't do anything for me. He was sitting back the whole time, so afraid to attack because he was probably giving orders to shackle Aaron Lennon to help with the defensive duties. But to be able to go out the other end and to score a goal like that, that's why I forgive about him. And that's why United are still close to City, because if not City would have run away with it. But Ferguson knows that with players like this, they just get you to go. Yeah, they just know the right time to get a goal, the right time to win a match.
But I still think Young has not performed as well as he should have this season, having come to Old Trafford.
He's capable of more, right?
Much more.
Well,
definitely.
What do you make of, Adebayo's disallowed goal for, a handball, apparent handball?
To be honest, I didn't really see it. I didn't really see it.
Let me answer that one. Of course it was a handball. But no, because it was a tough break for Spurs. I think a lot of Spurs fans would feel hard done by it.
Because if the
but
goal
at the end of the day,
would have been given, they would have taken the lead, right?
It did hit him on the arm. There was a United player right behind him that would probably have blocked the ball. Or even worse, still could have gotten a handball himself and probably got sent off. But so it was a very lucky break. Very lucky break, but right decision.
Right. I mean, Shaun, I know you're a City fan, but have you been impressed by United's recent performances? I mean, in staying in touch with City at the top, I mean, over the past couple of weekends, City have had relatively easier games, and United play after them, right?
Actually, I'm not impressed at all.
That's harsh,
but then I might just add that I'm not surprised because Ferguson has this in him.
Right.
That when it comes to now towards the running,
when it's crunch time.
Yeah, he just kind of gets his teams to play well. And as you know, he said the other day that a couple of the boys are coming back, Smalling and Valencia, and there's another lad. So
Cleverly, yeah.
Yeah, so I think they'll even be stronger than they have been recently.
Right. Well, Ian and I certainly hope so. Well, meanwhile, Martin Jol's Fulham, I tell you what, turned in a superb performance to thrash Wolves by 5-0. In hat-trick hero Pavel Pogrebnyak, and the rate at which he's performing, surely Bobby Zamora is a thing of the past, right, Ian?
Yeah, but can he keep it up? I think we've seen with Russian players in the past in the Premier League with
Pavlyuchenko as well,
Pavlyuchenko and Andre Villas-Boas, they tend to come in with a bang.
And Dinia
Bilyadinov, yeah, or Billy, right? I think they have it in them, but I think there's always been some suspicions over their work rate. It's always been suspect. So it remains to be seen.
The verdict's still out there, right?
I mean, but for a mid-table team, it should be fine,
Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah,
I mean, Shaun, Fulham are now up to 8th. Speaking of mid-table, and this is certainly where they should be, right? I mean, over the years, Fulham have been one of the more consistent mid-table teams. So you respect where they're at the moment and what Martin Jol's doing.
Oh, I think he's not doing too bad a job if they're in 8th position. But there's one thing you should not neglect to take cognizance of is that when they play at home, Fulham are quite a decent team.
Right.
And when they play away from home, they're not so decent.
They're not
but
so consistent.
Sometimes they do,
spring surprise.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, hold on to your thoughts as it is time for our customary break here on the show. We'll be right back with more chat and banter, as well as a look at this weekend's eye-catching fixtures. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on Football Everyday. Welcome back to Football Everyday here on the second segment of today's episode. More league games take place this weekend, so we'll start at the Reebok, where a relegation matchup sees Bolton play host to Queen's Park Rangers. I mean, look, just 2 points separate these two sides at the moment, so a home win could see them leapfrog Mark Hughes' side. So how crucial is this for both sides, Shaun?
I reckon this is a big game for
it is a massive
both
6-pointer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think my heart tells me that QPR have got some serious issues ahead of them.
Right.
There's a lot of folks around us that, of course, would like QPR to do well.
Right.
But I think Hughes came in with a bit too much mouth. He was talking about qualifying for Europe before he had got his first game under his belt. And now they're really struggling in the bottom. If they go down, I wouldn't be surprised.
And they can't even string together a series of wins at home, right?
Absolutely.
Well, at the Molineux, another crucial 6 pointer sees Wolves welcome Blackburn. I mean, Wolves were horrendous at Fulham last weekend. Do you see Blackburn being any different, Ian?
Yeah, this is going to be like one of the worst games of the season, right? It's going to be so boring. I don't know.
But I mean, both teams are mired at the bottom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think both of them are going down. Come on,
regardless of who
would even bother
one?
watching this?
Right.
Yeah, terrible.
All right, so we'll move on then. Over at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea entertain a very physical Stoke City, looking to rediscover some of their league form. You talk about the new manager syndrome, Keng. Might the absence of AVB finally breathe some much-needed life into the Blues?
Well,
come this weekend. I mean, well, we know they came through their replay in the FA Cup against Birmingham last night. Right?
I mean, it was a good win in Birmingham. solid win, nothing spectacular, even though Mata missed another penalty.
Another one.
Against the same keeper. But I mean, I know the players do not really like Di Matteo. Fans love him though, he's a cup legend.
Right.
Now with Eddie Newton in the team as well, it's going to be like the good old late 90s kind of era.
Right.
I mean, he's a cup hero at Stamford Bridge. Players do not really like him. I mean, he's a bit confident, a bit too confident. But I think, I was just telling you earlier that it's going to be a Miracle 11 match where Chelsea, they got operation, sack AVB executed
out of the way
to perfection.
Right.
So now with AVB out of the way, they're going to go on
I mean,
a
there's nothing to lose,
yeah,
right?
11 match winning streak and overtake even Spurs and Arsenal. Why not?
So it's going to start with Stoke, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see what happens. Well, another interesting matchup. You can't stop laughing, can you?
No.
Sees Liverpool travelling to the Stadium of Light. We know Martin O'Neill's arrival has kind of galvanised the Black Cats. So King Kenny and team will definitely be in for a stern test, right, Ian?
Yeah, in some ways, yes, but I'm also worried for Sunderland because they don't have Lee Cattermole, and they're going to be without Sessegnon as well, who's been quite brilliant for them. Just can't seem to score goals on a regular basis, but he's been very good. Cattermole, I mean, you know, he's a ticking time bomb, but without him in the team, they're a different thing. They're different kettle of fish altogether without him.
The other thing about the new managers syndrome, which you referred to, is it's nice when it's going and the new managers in. But then the bubble bursts. And you often find that when the bubble bursts,
it bursts really bad.
Things go quite wrong quite a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at Goodison Park, Zach Yusuf's beloved Everton do battle with third-placed Spurs. Former, Toffee's hitman Luis Saha is clearly enjoying a new lease of life. At Spurs. So can you see him being, key in this one?
Oh, I reckon even if he doesn't play or he doesn't score, Spurs will still beat Everton.
Really? I mean, is it that straightforward? I mean, you were saying before we started the show that Spurs aren't really as good as most people have bigged them up to be this season.
That's what I said, and that's what I believe. But Everton are worse.
Oh, sorry, Zach.
Hope you're listening, Zach.
Yeah. Well, on Sunday, Manchester United welcomed the conquerors of Chelsea in the shape of West Brom to Old Trafford. With the form United are in, Ian, surely this should be another 3 points, right?
Yeah, at home,
It should be.
It should be. But West Brom can be tough customers. They can be very difficult to break down at the back.
As they showed against.
We'll
attest to that.
Of course, that's not a really good comparison. Because it's Chelsea.
Come on.
Kidding.
Come on.
Kidding.
Hey,
but yeah, you have to play very well to keep a team like Chelsea down. To keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. And that's what they're going to look to do against United. So it's going to be a very tough game.
Right.
You do know that West Brom got 2 out of 3 managers sacked in the last 3 games.
That's a good stat.
I don't think they're going to get sacked just yet. Right? Well, if the pressure has been on United the past few weekends, this time it's kind of on Man City as they have a tough one at Swansea. We know they're capable of holding their own at the Liberty Stadium, Shaun. So what do you see happening in this one?
Yeah, Swansea won't be an easy game.
Right.
But none of the other games. Excuse me, which City will be playing soon will be easy. They play Chelsea.
And Arsenal as well,
I think after that, and they travel to Arsenal. So there's a number of tough games coming up for City, but I say but if they can't beat these teams, or get through the supposedly hard games, then how do they expect to win the title? Just. And I think that this is what Mancini must be.
And this is when you've got to do the business, right?
Exactly. You want to win the title, so go and play football, man.
Right. All right. Well, lastly, on Monday, what should be a cracker sees Arsenal play host to Newcastle. We all remember that famous comeback from 4 goals down last season, right? I mean, Kung, are you expecting more fireworks from this one?
Why not? I mean, probably more on the Arsenal side, but I'm actually hoping Newcastle win for the Chelsea benefit. But yeah. High scoring affair, totally. Robin Van Persie in form, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, that kid is brilliant. He has to go to the Euros, man.
The English Messi.
English Messi. I mean, Ian, we spoke about him early on, but with the way RVP is playing, the Gunners are the form team. I mean, but Demba Ba and Papi Cisse too have the potential to cause the Arsenal backline some problems, right?
I think Arsenal face more problems potentially than Newcastle. Because those 2 big guys up front for Newcastle, they're gonna pose all sorts of trouble for Laurent Koscielny.
Right.
Can you imagine Koscielny trying to kind of handle those 2 guys?
Right.
On the other hand, the Newcastle back four is always very well drilled, very well organized. They should be able to keep Van Persie quiet for most of the game. But if Van Persie can pull out, he has that magic in his boots. But Arsenal will definitely struggle.
But
Arsenal
Walcott not playing too bad recently.
Walcott?
Yeah, he's
an on and off guy. He play well one game and he go off the ball in another game.
But recently he's been a bit more consistent than he's ever been.
Yeah, he wants the Euro spot, man.
He wants to go to the Euros, right? He's got something to prove, right?
That's the point, yeah.
Do you think it's going to be Arsenal or Newcastle before we wrap up?
Oh, well, I reckon maybe a draw.
Well, that's the safest thing to say, right? Well, thanks a lot for your thoughts, guys. Well, before we bid you goodbye, do remember, as usual, we've got a brand new great contest going on football.thestar.com.my, where you can win loads of great monthly prizes from Tiger FC, Adidas, and SenQ, on top of FA Cup final tickets, courtesy of Astro and Emirates. If you want to drop us a line, send it to us at football@thestar.com.my. Till we see you again next week, same time, same place. Ian, Shaun, Keng, thanks a lot for your thoughts. Pleasure as usual. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Bye from Football Everyday.